Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.
What's the situation tomorrow night? How does it go down?
You know, away from the media bluff, it's anyone's tournament. It really is. And I think that you could win 3 fights and you could still lose the tournament. You told me that earlier. And I think that's the compelling nature of the fight. Like, you know, Hamza could win, Ball could win, Willie could win, and then Hrgovic and Wilder win by knockouts, we win the tournament. So I think the format's going to be really important. Honestly, like, although we're all getting along now and it's no longer nasty, we want to win so bad. But not just us, like our fighters, they're all sending messages in. You know, they're all like posting on social media. Anyone that's there tomorrow night, TNT, DAZN, TNT, desperate to win. DAZN, desperate to win. You know, and it's just, honestly, the card is so good. You know, normally you might find a weak fight. Every fight is just so compelling.
Francis, how confident are you that you can put this rivalry to bed tomorrow night?
Well, we're confident in all our fighters. And listen, the rivalry is raging, and it'll always rage, because that's what makes this sport so competitive and so compelling and so exciting. If you don't have rivalry, the sport goes down the pan. So long may it live, and as long as it's healthy but fierce, I think that that's the key to this. And you see the energy between every single fighter up there in every single fight. Everybody wants it badly. I loved Deontay's war cry yesterday. I love Zhang just says get banged. All of it's fantastic. Nick Ball just barely says a word. Ray Ford looks like he wants to absolutely jump on him tonight. Ammo Williams, I mean, I've got no words. And Hamza's just the coolest customer in town, and Willie Hutchins and Craig Richards. I think I said it before. That's the fight of the night. So I just think that every single one of those guys have got a massive point to prove. You also got to remember as well that although this is a team event, these guys have got individual careers to worry about, because they won't be on. It's not like they'll be fighting for a team next time out necessarily. So they've all got independent ambitions. They've all got they've got to win to keep their careers going as strong as possible. So add that to it. Add all the the rivalry, past animosity and future fierce rivalry. It's a brilliant night's boxing, brilliant event, and couldn't be more excited about it. I saw it in his tracksuit earlier, and I rang Matt. I went, "Where's my fucking tracksuit?"
And then you realise what I look like.
Well, you look like a competition winner today.
That's why I done it. I was looking at the Queensberry boys going, "Fucking hell!"
It was just to stitch you up a week, because we would have told him to come in suited and booted tonight.
Eddie, you referred to it there, that comment of maybe someone wins 3 fights and actually loses this. Does that then make it controversial?
No, because we chose the format. I mean, maybe the format's not right. We'll find out tomorrow. It's the first time it's happened, but we're trying to incentivise excitement, which is stoppages, especially with the heavyweights. Do you know what I mean? So, but Francis is right, and I said this to the boys earlier. Listen, I know this is the tip. You got to do it for yourselves tomorrow night, mate. Like, when you're in there with you, they ain't thinking about Eddie Hearn or Team MATCHROOM. They're thinking about fighting another day and winning. Of course, after, if they can do it, and they want us to win desperately, but don't worry about that tomorrow night. Go and do your job.
No one's
tomorrow night.
Dangling their chin out just to get stoppage.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like no one. These are seasoned, well-experienced professional fighters at world level. So if their game plan is to go the distance, and if the knockout comes, it comes, then they're going to stick to that. No one. So.
But it's like, as well, I was saying to your dad earlier, where a fighter could be losing widely, maybe on the verge of getting stopped, and you almost just want them to hang in there, hear the final bell, so they don't double down on points. Especially in a Shiraz fight, because there's a big difference between Hamza, if he was to win the fight, winning by stoppage, it's two extra points. Yeah. It's massive on points, or and the other way around. If we can stem the blood flow with a victory with ammo, where they lose their captain's points, that's massive for us as well. So, and on the other side, we may have a fighter dominating and cruising, and we're like to the corner. All right, do you want to step on the gas a little bit and get the stoppage here, rather than just cruise into points, because we need an extra point. So I just honestly love it.
How quick are you going to jump up and say, you're 4 rounds down?
Yeah. Open scoring will be nice tonight. But you'll also see me and Frank really completely lose our shit, because we do it on normal nights, standing up, and I'll be saying, he's holding ref, and he'll be saying, shut up, like and we'll be banging on the canvas. His Excellency will probably be between us, like, But I just, when you're up there on stage, like, I've never seen, and look at the setting. I mean, it's just like a lot of the guys, Willie, Nick, like, they all appreciate this so much, because they've come through the system, the Olympia, the York Hall, and they know that they perform tomorrow night. They'll be back.
Do you see shades of the old Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren kind of animosity coming out tomorrow night whenever it does get to the nitty gritty?
No, listen, I'd like to sell it to you and say, I think that when we met at the Day of Reckoning presser, it was a reluctant shaking of hands. It was like, all right, fair enough. Like, yeah, it was just like, fair enough. It's almost like down weapons and just truce. Do you know what I mean? And even when I met him, and we're looking at each other thinking, what, you know, like, okay, fucking yeah, let's not fuck it up. All right, then,
rolled out here.
But I think we've spent a lot of time together, and I've said before, and I'll say it again, I don't mean to sound cheesy, the families are quite similar. Like the dad's two working class guys, and they knew each other well before boxing. You know, similar kind of industries. The sons work in the industry. Do you know what I mean? They both love box. They both love to win. And it's always, you know, my old man's always said to me, he said, you'll really like Frank's company. He said, but we just never done business together. We've never got on like that. And I've enjoyed his company. You know, I think he also knows that I know a lot more about boxing than he probably thought I did, because I love it. I'm a student of the game, and he's an expert. He's been around it for donkey's years, and he's also a historian, isn't he? A boxer, like he knows. Yeah, we talk about old fights. We talk, you know, feel like two old geezers, me and Frank. You know, so it's been a really. I've got to say, the most enjoyable little phase of my career, and that's not just because of the stuff with Frank, but his excellency. And I know that everyone's like, "Oh, he's excellent." Oh, mate, he's the funniest geezer you will ever met. I'm going around his house tonight with Frank and everybody to talk about the future. You've never seen energy like it, right? The guy will be standing up, right? And he's so funny. He's just like, he'll take the piss out. He'd call me a wank, like whatever, you know. Eddie, you know. Yeah, cheers, Francis. but like, it's not like, we're not out here, we want to make money. And it's not like, oh, well, let's go to RIYADH because, we're here because we're really enjoying it. And honestly, the relationship with him is amazing. And we're seeing things happen that we wanted to see happen for boxing for a long time.
I want to ask you a question, Francis, about Hamza Shiraz. Eddie referred to him as the Queensberry poster boy. He's never had a fight like this in his life. Are you worried that maybe this is coming too soon, someone like Ammo Williams for Hamza Shiraz?
No, not at all, actually. I think Hamza's been waiting for an opportunity to shine on this. You know, listen, he's been on a big card before. You know, great performances against Liam Williams out in Poland on the Usyk undercard. And I just think this is a stage set for him to go to that next level. He's defended his WBC silver belt a couple of times, so he's more than ready now to step up to that next level. And Ammo certainly presents that challenge. And he's calm as anything, Hamza. I mean, if there was a chink, maybe if you could see a chink in his armour this week, you might think, oh, God, there's a little bit of a wobble there, but he's been absolutely solid all week. And if anything, I think Ammo's maybe amped up his antics because Hamza's been so solid and so calm, trying to unnerve him, trying to get under his skin. And Hamza, to be honest, he's just stood there with his hands behind his back going, yep, let's do this. So I'm extremely confident about that fight tomorrow night.
Obviously, Matchroom, you know, kind of one down after Kakachi's win over Cordina last week.
Well, what about Elisara against Chev?
Okay, one each.
Yeah, good, yeah. And then you got
Fair enough.
Masood against Liam Davis, you know, and then I'm sure Chantel Cameron against Sandy Ryan, Sky Nicholson against Raven Chapman. I mean, there's so many more to come, you know.
Are these fights you've spoke about yet?
Yeah, of course, all the time. I mean, we're talking all the time. Francis is looking after a load of fighters. He phones me all the time. What are you doing with this? You know, phone the other day.
And Justice, a great fight.
Yeah. Dalton Smith, you were saying, you know, about the British title. You got Henry Turner going to be changing for the British title. So, but like, whereas before, like, you know, you have a situation like that, right? Where, I mean, it's not confidential. So he's got Henry Turner, wants to fight for the British title. They've got a final eliminator. Dalton Smith's the British champion. So he phones me up and says, look, what are you doing with the British? Because if you're not, we'd like to fight for it. Now, in the past, it would be, yeah, good fucking luck, mate. Yeah.
Keeping all that for as long as possible.
And now you've told me that, we ain't fucking ever letting it go. Now it's like, all right, let me speak to Dalton. And you're right, if you don't need that, don't hold on to it. Like, we don't want, there's no point holding a belt.
And it'll be reciprocated at some point when you've got someone coming through and it's you know, it's not.
And also, we talked about putting fighters, prospects, on cards where they're geographically suited, right? So say like they've got a show in Scotland and I've got two Scottish kids, right? And they're fighting in London. What's the point? Like, I can put them on the Scotland show. They're going to sell tickets for Queensberry and vice versa. So we've got loads of London fighters that sometimes fight on, you know, in Nottingham and Sheffield and selling 100 tickets up there. Could be selling 400 tickets in London and vice versa. So That kind of stuff is.
And it's about developing that next generation of talent, because you ain't nothing without your fighters. So, you know, although this is the big stage, you know, getting youngsters going and fighting regularly as possible, whether it be Queensberry, MATCHROOM, and we've also got these Box Nation shows that are going to be coming up as well. Let's keep everyone busy. Let's keep everyone happy, and that, you know, that's only good news for boxing.
Last one from me. A lot of fans in the UK will feel hard done by that this first event of this magnitude is happening over here. How soon could we see maybe a 5v5 in the UK between you guys?
Yeah, I mean, ASAP. I really believe that after Saturday night, everyone's going to say when's the next one, including His Excellency. And we've made 5 fights tomorrow. We could make 15 now in 5 minutes. Like, yeah, I did. Yeah, so and they should take place in the UK. And there's fights on there that can fill up the O2, and there's fights in there that would be an historic night at York Hall. You know, I'm talking about English title fights, prospects fighting each other, and then you've got the bigger stuff, you know, of the real World Championship stuff. So this format, you will definitely see another one of these this year.
Final one, tell them how it ends tomorrow night.
Yeah, a bit lively. It's a bit too friendly, mate.
Oh, shut up, mate.
It is a little bit. Come on.
Oh, here he goes again.
No, you're the whole, we said this. You're the whole reason that all this shit happened.
No,
in the
don't
first
give him
place.
that much for granted.
I know, yeah. We win, and it's an horrible flight home. I will say one thing: we're very confident. The flight home, because everyone's on the 9 a.m. I think, right? So it's like I've even thought about. I just know that if we lose, I'm going to be sitting there, and I'm just going to go like that and like that, and Frank's going to go. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, and it's not just that. Like I said, it's all the staff, like. The teams, they actually really get on now, but they're all desperate.
My old man suggests, in the press, I'm going to be a horrible loser. I would be a horrible loser, but I'm going to be a terrible winner.
Yeah, same. We're going to gloat forever, and if we lose, unfortunately, we're going to have to take it on the chin, but very confident Team MATCHROOM victory.
Eddie and Francis, thank you very much for that.
Cheers.
Do a little more.
Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.